Hello, good evening, and welcome, one and all, to the British Hive Mind. Coming to you from the Hive Mind page on Facebook and our Hive Mind channel on YouTube as well. Yeah, not so much of a definitive show for you this evening. Not 100% sure on what we're going to go through, but yeah. Let's carry on. Let's see if we get some guests in the room. Let's see what we can talk about. Let's see where we're going to take this little rabbit hole and this little sort of thing around the rabbit hole. Yeah, sorry, I'm just going to sort out the lighting a bit because I'm very dark on YouTube, not so dark on there. So let's go to there. Let's do that. It should be big, bright, and white. So there we go. It's a little bit better. You can see me a little bit better, but you know, I do like to keep my identity a little bit secret. It's mysterious. So, well, with the weekend going over and the weekend passing, there's been quite a few Q drops, and there's also been quite a bit of infighting amongst the Awake community, especially over across the pond with the InfoWars community and the Q community. Now, I've been a watcher of InfoWars. I've been a follower of Alex Jones for quite some time now. Yeah, for quite some time, especially with Alex Jones. He's a character. And yeah, he is a character. He's playing a role. He's playing a character. That character does reflect a lot of his person, a lot of his persona, a lot of personality that comes across in this character. But it is still a character. He's actor. He's an actor. He's acting. He's coming across with facts. He's coming across with great researched and investigated reports. He's selling quite a lot of products and making a buckload of money whilst he's doing it. No qualms for him for doing that, because I've taken some of his products. His products are pretty good. Bloody expensive, but pretty good. And he's set up his freaking European distribution arm, so we don't have to pay extra freaking taxes and extra freaking deliveries. But hopefully it'll come in the future. Hopefully I could be here plugging Alex Jones merchandise. And he can give me some of his money. Because, the world revolves around money at the moment. And why shouldn't it? We all put our effort in. We all want some reward out of it. Money and a monetary system is the way to do it. Is the way forward. But hey, we digress. So, yeah, it seems to be Alex Jones has his side of the community and his side of the intelligence community. You know, these people like this Zach, the Moroccan. He seemed to have a little bit of good information, a good bit of details there, but some of it was quite questionable. And then you've got then you've got Q, who's the other side of military intelligence, that's able to post literally directly from Donald Trump, and has been able to verify their position by having Donald Trump say things in his speeches and in his tweets that validate the Q posts. Now, from what I see some of what has been happening on the 4 and the 8chan. And yeah, 4chan, quite a lot of posting, quite a lot of misguided posting and misguiding posts. But once it's got through onto the 8, a lot of it's been whittled through and has generally been sort of validated. But I see a lot of possibilities with the Q and the Anons being corrupted. Not only personally, because if they get found, they'll get threatened, they'll get the state will come after them. But I've also seen the chance of infiltration, and infiltration has happened yet again. Mr. Tommy Robinson's close people were infiltrated or turncoated. Alex Jones has had infiltration, and the InfoWars team has been infiltrated. The Q posts and the Q community, without a shadow of a doubt, has been infiltrated. There are people out there that are paid, willing, able to post as a Q when they are not a Q. You know, a lot of the ticker codes have changed on the Q posts. A lot of the identities have changed on the Q posts and the Q posters. So we're having to start taking that with a pinch of salt as well now and start having to think outside of the box when it comes to Q. Q was leaving out breadcrumbs and saying, do your own research and look into it. We have done. We've looked into it. We've researched it, and we've found answers, truthful answers, and come to our own and drawn up and come to our own conclusions. But now it seems there's infiltrators in the Q community and on the chans that are trying to split us, trying to divert us, try to get us to look in the wrong direction, try to get us to infight amongst each other. So we're busy arguing with each other rather than questing for the truth. And yeah, I'm addressing this couple of Q issues because I saw a post by Graham Moore in his car this morning. He's got to do a bit of a Q analysis, see what he comes out with, what he's been thinking about with the Q as well, because I know that that's where he's sort of divulged off to now. Instead of being a solid constitutionalist and a dragon, he was... Yep, the dragons has changed. He has changed, and he has now moved on to more Q-based research. Good on him. Good on him, because the Q and the Q community are truth seekers. We're searching for the truth, and I believe that most of the people in the Q community will be constitutionalists. Be they on that side of the water, be they on this side of the water. The Constitution has to be pushed. We have to reawaken, realign, reinvigorate the Constitution to make it mainstream. The people don't know about the Constitution. The people don't know about their rights. The people don't know nothing about it because it has been suppressed, and it's been suppressed for a reason. These people know, the people in power know that the Constitution is our way out, is our way of getting our power back, is a way of wiping the slate clean and getting rid of the corruption and getting rid of the scum we have in office at the moment, which we need to do. We need to do, and we need to start ramping up and start stepping up this game, because it's not going to happen by itself. It's not going to happen with us hoping, us dreaming about it, us just simply talking about it. Simply talking about it, yes, first step. Got to get talking, got to get this topic, got to get the people aware and talking about what is right, what we've got to do, what is wrong, how we can address it. A bit thirsty. And we need to also start to put the plans in place. The Constitution is our solution. However, the people don't know of it. Right, so how do we get the people to know about it? We make the shows, we do the posts, we talk to people, we go to the pub, we do la 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 la. We get people talking about it. Excellent. But talk, as they say, talk is cheap. Talk isn't going to get us a final goal. Just talking about it isn't going to achieve it. We have to get people talking about it. We have to get enough people on board so that when we do take action, and we do start to do things, and we do start to look at dissolving Parliament, at removing the tyranny in our establishment, removing the corrupt judicial system, Once we start to work, we need the people's backing to back us up to make these changes. But we're going to have to physically make these changes. And getting back onto the Q and the Q post and the Q community, that's very United States orientated. It's very, very stateside. It's very across the pond. It's very them straining their swamp, them sorting out their political situation, and then possibly or hopefully moving on to the rest of the world. I know they all go hand in hand. The secret societies go hand in hand across the board, across borders. They are global. All of them drinking from the same teat. Now, so when one starts to fall and the foundations of the secret society start to crumble, we will start to see the worldwide spread of it, the worldwide spread of the injustice, the worldwide spread of the corruption in politics, in the political game, and in the entire global system. These will start to come to light, and with the Queen of England being one of the heads of the Illuminati, one of the heads of the secret societies, one of the main culprits behind the world we see today is the Queen of England. And wow, she has one hell of a PR team. She has one hell of a brainwashing system scam. Oh, it's unbelievable. If we look into it, we research it, we find out that the Queen was responsible for the death of Diana. If we look into it and research it, we'll find that that Prince Charles is a paedophile, and possibly, what's his name, Prince Edward, is it? The Queen's fella. He's also a pedo. the Duke of Edinburgh. Pedo. The Queen has been living such a long and vibrant life due to her consumption of adrenochrome. We need to get this news out to the people. I'd love to be able to get to people at the royal wedding, the royals, the illegitimate son wedding, way, that sort of crowd, and wake them up to the horrors of the royal family. I'd love to. Love it. It'd be well fun just to see the look on their faces when you show them the information, the cognitive dissonance. So they're going to attack you for it, say that you're unpatriotic. Yeah. Oh, how the world has changed. How the Great Awakening has affected people. Now, I, a true patriot, someone who loves this country more than anything else, that loves Britain and British values and England and this beautiful green and pleasant land, I hate our royal family. If it doesn't change, and we're still in this state of perpetual war, perpetual turbulence, perpetual poverty, by 2021, the 2021, I'll advocate for regicide. I know it's a very strong term, a very strong path to go down, but how else do you depose a tyrannous crown? How else do you do it? How else do you depose a tyrannous crown? How else do you dissolve a tyrannous parliament? How? We can't do it. We can't do it through the legalese. We've tried to do it through the court system. We've tried to approach the Queen. We've tried to protest the Queen. We've tried to do these things, and the establishment has stomped on us. It's not giving us any recourse. It's not giving us any other alternative. So it's just the corruption's so deep. It's the poisoned roots are bearing poisoned trees that are bearing poisoned fruits, and the roots are so deep within the entire world we live in. It's going to be very, very difficult to uproot the tree. It's going to be very difficult to get rid of the tree of corruption that has been planted in the 1800s and has grown to this monster that we now have to slay. And to badmouth the Queen and the royal family to your normal everyday Joe Smo in the pub it's not going to work. It's not going to work like that. And the royal family's secretive secrets haven't yet fully come to light. Their involvement with child trafficking hasn't yet fully come to light. Their involvement with adrenochrome hasn't yet fully come to light. Their involvement with Pizzagate hasn't fully come to light. And until we have this information at our fingertips, ready to literally throw in people's faces and say, this is the truth. Truth. Understand it, read it, comprehend it, understand it, and do something about it. Until we have this definitive, concrete evidence, it's going to be very difficult to shift people out of the brainwashing. It's going to be very difficult to shift public opinion so far that we're looking to not abolish the monarchy, but replace the monarchy. You know, we don't need to abolish the House of Lords. We just need to replace the Lords. And it's a weird one because now the House of Commons, which is supposed to represent the common people, doesn't represent the common people. The House of Lords is supposed to represent the lords and the barons and the what they called, what should we call them, the aristocrats. And yeah, and it's all just we've let the wrong people, we've let the freaking lunatics run the asylum for far too long. For far too long. From before I was born, the lunatics have been running the asylum. And now the asylum's a freaking madhouse, absolute madhouse, where the law is upside down, where right and wrong is upside down, where big business has more power than anybody or anything else. Where big banking is the ones that really run and control and pull the strings. And we need we say it time and time again, we need a revolution. But we don't need a violent revolution. We don't need the wrong sort of revolution. We don't need a Bolshevik uprising sort of controlled by the Rothschilds sort of uprising. We don't need that. We don't want that. It's not right. We also can't have what do you call it? A ballot box revolution. I call it a ballot box revolution because we discussed it earlier on the Daily Brexit or Daily Chaos that the counting system is fraudulent. The ballot box system is fraudulent. And it's been designed that way on purpose to make sure that only the duopoly can remain in power. Like I said on yesterday's show, that we're fighting an up mountain battle here, but we're putting the right steps in place. We're thinking of the right things. We're talking about the right things. We're addressing the right sort of issues now. You know, back 10, 15 years ago, we were chasing our own tails. We didn't have a clue what was really going on. Not that many people really knew the true extent of Europe and the EU. We didn't really know it that much back then. We knew there was something not quite right, but we didn't know the systemic depth of depravity the EU is. The gigantic one world government plan of the EU. But now we know it. When we're talking about it, now we're addressing the issue. Now we're starting to pick apart the political lies. We're now on the right track. We're on the right path. It's just we need to start to put the plans in place. The next little step, next little step, the next little step, the next little step, little by little by little. We have to start doing it this way, because I'd love it to be just a done. We have power again. We're back in control of our country. We have power again. Excellent. I'd love it to be a snap your fingers, click your heels. There's no place like home sort of it. But that's never going to happen. It could, but no, it's never going to happen. So we're going to have to think of the tiny steps. We've got our end goal. This is what we want. We want our country back. Right, so to get to this goal, we're going to have to do this. We're going to have to do that. We're going to have to do the other. We're going to have to do this, that, the other to get to there. Right, and these little plans need to be put into place. The civil unrest, the civil disobedience. I'm going to start ramping it up. I'm going to start really holding the government to account on their treasonous acts. You know, when I go to Manchester on Saturday, I'm going to be I'm going to be telling the tales of the FCO 3748. I'm going to be telling the tales of the royal family. I'm going to be getting people onto 4 and 8chan, getting them involved with the queue. I'm going to start just making connections, drawing people together, getting the hive mind working even harder, get more people involved, get more information, because there's people out there that are in the crux, that are there on the front line in your local council. They're there. They're in your local MP's office. They're there. We've got people that are on the inside. We've got people on the inside of the NHS. We've got people that are on the inside of these government, what they're called, government tendrils of power. And these are the people we really start to need to get on board. Because if we can get them starting to blow the whistle, them starting to uncover the facts and the evidence, then we have them on our side, and then we have true factual evidence come from the horse's mouth on the show. Yeah. So, I'm also going to be doing an outside broadcast. I'm going to go out there. I'm not going to stream live. I'm going to film it, and I'm going to come back, and I'm going to post it. Be totally unedited. A lot of it just me live from a chest cam, like you might have seen in the Dave Wolf videos, where I tear into Islam. There's no tomorrow. I should get back out there and start doing another one of them, because there's so many more issues with Islam I can play with. Go out on a Friday in Blackburn Town Centre. Look at all the pajama people walking around, and all the frigging visors. Yeah, but I've gone off Islam for now. I've gone off it. It's a secondary issue. It is. It's a secondary issue. Until we sort out the corruption in our own parliament, in our own government, and our own establishment, we're never going to be able to deal with Islam. So it's a secondary issue. Same with fracking. Same with child sexual offences. Until we get control of our own country, our own laws, our judiciary, bring back the freaking trial by jury, get the system back constitutional, then we can deal with the secondary issues, such as Islam, pedos, fracking, taxation, all of these secondary issues that stem from the heart of government. Once we've got a dagger through that heart, or the heart in our hands, we can address the issues. We can get these things done. So, you know, I don't want to get anybody's back up on this. I'm not saying that the secondary issues aren't important. That's not what I'm saying. That's the exact opposite of what I'm saying. I'm saying that we're only going to be able to win and beat these issues if we have full control and full power over our own country. I think that's logical. You know, so all of us need to get together and start telling people that you know that their secondary issues are important, yes, but they're not as important as taking back control. They're not as important as the Constitution. They're not as important as chopping the head off the snake, because there's not a chance we're going to be able to defeat Islam, pedos, grooming gangs, terrorists, the corrupt establishment, the corrupt media. We're not going to be able to tackle these issues by ourselves, or by standing out, taking up, protesting them. It's the government that has all the power, and we need it. We need it. They're never going to be on our side. It could take 15 or 20 chuffing years to get the new parties up and running and in power. Hey, by miracle, we could get the PR going. We could get the whole people out together. We could get everybody on board voting for a non-establishment party. That could happen. There could be a quick draw snap election by end of this year. But I think where things are looking more likely than not. But would we stand a chance? Would the independents, would the new parties stand a chance in this new election, in this snap election? Unless they got their fingers out and really started to amp up the truth. Not rhetoric, not amping up rhetoric or ramping up the hype, but ramping up the truth. Coming out with both barrels of truth. That might have a decent effect, and that might get enough people to vote. But then you got to think, at the end of the day, who's counting these votes? How many of these votes are going to go missing? The Muslim bloc, you know, the Muslim bloc vote. How are we going to work in areas such as Blackburn? I'll use that because I'm here. How are we going to work on an issue like that? You know, Blackburn will be a Labour seat forevermore, unless there becomes an Islam party. Then it'll become an Islam seat, because there's more of them than us. And yes, maybe one of, you know, five or six other constituencies in the UK are going to definitely have the same problem. Bradford be another one that will always be an Islamic seat now, because the Islams have taken over. Where was I going with this? Yeah. So the ballot box route is the, how can I put it? Is the let's sit back, have a cup of tea, and hope this all blows over method. It's going to take a lot of effort to get the people out to the ballot boxes and get the people out voting for a non-establishment party. Hey, those people that are awake and would never vote for an establishment an establishment corporation party. If we do it, like I said, that way, it is like us sitting back, having a cup of tea and thinking, well, let's hope this all blows over. Let's hope enough people have woke up to go out and vote for the right people. Can't leave it to chance like that. Can't leave it to chance like that. We've got, you know, and even if, you know, the DV party or for Britain really pulled their finger out, amped up all the truthful goodness, out there leafleting on the street, partying on the street, having local street parties, having real political activities together to bring communities in and really have a good time and show politics to be a great thing, a cool thing for everybody to get involved in. Hopefully, then they might be able to get a decent chunk of the votes. But I'm not in control of that. I'm not in charge of that. What I'm in control of and what I'm in charge of is myself, my own responsibilities and my own life, and what I'm willing to do to get this country back. And I see no Brexit. I see no change. Only freaking change I see is more Islam, is Islamification. It's this, yeah. It's beyond a joke. It truly is. And I'm struggling of ways to put it. Struggling of ways to put this. You know, I'm struggling for the entire episode, to be honest with you. Our political system is corrupt to the core, and it is going to take a revolution to change it. Now, will this revolution bring about civil war? We don't know. However, the way things are going, the way things are playing out at the moment, there will be a revolution. There will be. There's too many people. Too many people know. We know the depths of depravity of government. We know. Come the 23rd of June, when a lot of people withdraw the consent from government. I do not consent to your rule anymore. Signed articles, signed 61s, Article 61s of the Magna Carta. I'm in lawful rebellion. When will us that are in rebellion start to outweigh those that aren't? You know? But yeah, it's going to be a quick episode, this one. Not really sure of where to take it or what to do. So yeah, episode 27, not the best production yet, not the best show ever. But hey, if you want to discuss a topic, put a comment in. If you can on YouTube. If you want my opinions on a different topic, feel free. Comment. I'll answer any question. I'll answer any question you want. But hey, who's in the comments? Lauren. See, I had a friend called Loren. I had a friend called Lauren. And there's a friend called Lorraine. So, well, an auntie called Lorraine. So, sorry if I've not pronounced it correctly, but Miss. Oh, no, I could even get that wrong with Miss and Mrs. Carter. Yep, civil disobedience is needed now. Don't pay your poll tax. I don't pay my poll tax. Blocking the Channel Tunnel. Blocking the Channel Tunnel. You know, I think it was was it the French farmers or the French truckers that got annoyed with fuel taxes and fuel prices going up, and then the French went and started to blockade the ports. We need to take a leaf out of their book. You know, we need to get the farmers down to Devon. Is it Devon? Down to the Channel Tunnel, Dover Tunnel, as well as the tractors. Get the tractors out there. You know, feet on the ground, boots on the street. Definitely needed. Down at 10 Downing Street. Yeah, blocking up the N25. These are all excellent threats, excellent ways of saying this is the ultimatum. Do what we want, do as we ask, do the right thing by the British people, or else. Because a protest is only as good as the demands that you make. Time 2018. I say this time and time again. 2018 is the year of the Grand Awakening. It is the year when enough people are going to realize and see the truth that they are not going to be able to sit back and silence anymore. They're not going to be able to say, "Oh, well, it's the government. There's nothing we can do." You know, this is the year where people are going to go, "What? They've been doing that? They believe in this? This has been happening for this long? Whoa, we have to stop this now." And if 2018 is the year of the Grand Awakening, 2019 will be the year of grand action. I can see great action being put in place this year, and I see great things coming. And if nothing changes by 2019, actions will speak louder than words. Actions will speak louder than demonstrations. Actions will be put in place to bring this government to its knees. And I have no doubt about that. But you're right, action is needed. Action. It's all well and good for me to sit here and make my little show or post a few posts on Facebook, this, that, and the other. But until we get our feet on the street, until we get out there talking to people, rallying the troops, nothing's going to change. No government has ever given up power willingly. There has always, every time, had to be a revolution. Every time. The founding fathers of the United States studied previous civilizations, studied previous governmental architecture, studied tyranny in all of its forms. They came up with their constitution. That's why there's the first. That's why there's the second. To protect the people. To protect the ideology of a free nation. Now, this free nation might have been created by Freemasons. And it might have been created for more nefarious goals. It's certainly been hijacked by people with nefarious goals. Definitely been hijacked by secretive people. Definitely been hijacked by totalitarianists. Now, our government, exactly the same, has been hijacked by big banking, by the corporations, by the institution, by the willingness and compliance of our political class, by the silencing of anyone who stands to oppose them, by the imprisoning of people like Tommy Robinson, Melanie Shaw, and the others, and many more. And not so keen on Golding and Franson, but they were politically active, and they are political prisoners. The only reason they are in prison is because of their politics. That is it. They have committed no crime whatsoever. Now, I mentioned this on yesterday's show, the hate crime laws. We had this rally for free speech with no ultimatum. No ultimatum. If somebody on that stage, well, there was the one lady that said, "Oh, I'll take your job, Theresa May," but that was said more in jest than as that was an idle threat rather than a substantiated threat. Now, if somebody at that march, main speaker, main organizer, had literally said, amend the hate speech laws or else ... something might have happened. The hate speech laws might have been changed. There wouldn't be a new law being discussed in Parliament that is the exact opposite of what we want and the exact opposite of what we marched for. So people can now spend 6 years in prison for hate speech. Yeah. I'm not saying that it wasn't a success. I'm not saying that it wasn't a great thing. I'm not trying to have a go at the organisers or have a go at anybody who attended the rally. I'm just trying to add my opinion and my knowledge to the fact, and sadly point this out, that it kind of backfired. I know some people ain't going to be happy with that, but it did. To now have Parliament discussing putting free speakers in prison for 6 years now, since that rally. They might have been talking about it beforehand, but it's definitely come to prominence. It's definitely come to the forefront of their political agenda. I'd be one of the first serving time. No, I wouldn't actually. No, because I'd use the courts. I'd be a freeman, and I'd use the courts, and I'd need a lot of help. I would need a lot of help, but I know it's there. I know I've got the Dragon's support. I know that I've got constitutional people's support if it ever came to an issue such as this. I know that I know the right people to talk to, and I know the right sources of information where I could stand in a court of law as a human being and take on the corporation and win. But another subject, another topic, another show. Would be a good one, but we need the right guests. And yeah, but hey, right. Anything else? Any other questions? Any other little points and topics that we need to talk, really need to talk about and need to be discussed? I'm not one of these like Ollie that follows the news stories and reads out a news article and then we can have a little debate about the news article. It's not Not that sort of show. I can't bring the stuff up on the screen like Ollie can. I just do what I can from what I've got. But yeah, it's one of those situations. Has anyone got any questions? Nobody's got any questions. Give it 15, 20 minutes time. Oh, I've got a question. Oh, it's too late now. Yeah. So, yeah, there's things in the pipeline, activities in the pipeline, things we want to be doing. What do you think of the latest Q posts? The latest Q posts. Well, the last one I saw was with regards to, I think it was 12-step plan. I think it might be 12 steps. The plan, and the plan being underway, and the plan kind of going to plan, and the plan explaining that, look, we can't make these arrests. We can't arrest these people until we have the right judicial service and the right judiciary and the right people to prosecute them. Because if we take them through the courts the way they are at the moment, the courts are corrupt, and these corrupt people would end up getting away with it. And we don't have double jeopardy. So if they get away with it now, that's it. It's gone. They're off the hook. So, yeah, that I think that's the only Q post that I've really, really looked into. So that was a bit of a... Yeah, I've not been so much on the Q at the moment. He had a quiet spell for last week or the week before, and I was just like, nah. But, yeah. The Q is a good community, good information, and I think with the Q, the thing is, was it too much information too soon? And now we're all chomping at the bit to see results on it. You know, we all know the tales of Clintons. We all know Uma Aberdeen. We all know the Awans. We all know the CIA and the corrupt deep state. We all know this now. And we're sat here chomping at the bit going, we want to see some action. We want to see it. We want to change the freaking world. And we want to change it now. It's the one opportunity we have. We have this one opportunity, this one shot, this one moment in time where we can either get freedom or we get tyranny. Well, you know, I've been, you know, researching a lot of the Q and a lot of the rabbit hole topics. And yeah, there's a few things that Q hasn't mentioned or Q hasn't gone into that are really, really prominent, really, really important issues and really have to be tackled. But maybe they're coming on, maybe they're later down the line. But you know, with your words that he's going after the EU, I saw, it wasn't a Q post, but it was a tweet by Trump saying, Paris, what is going on? You really need to start addressing your Islamist issue. That sort of yeah, that sort of, and you see, we know that the EU is a globalist entity. We know it's a New World Order entity. We know that. And it only stands to reason and logic that Q Trump and any populist will be going after the EU. It is a bane on the world, a bane on the planet, and it's gotten rid of, destroying completely. Apparently, yeah. I'm not so sure about New Zealand. Never really get much news on New Zealand. It's up to the side of the world, and yeah, I don't know what sort of bad things they could have. The child trafficking sort of part of it, yeah, they could be involved with that. You know, sheep trafficking, sheep trafficking to Islamic countries. Yeah, but I'm not so sure about New Zealand. I'll have to research that. I'll have to look into that myself. What's New Zealand been up to, little buggers? Look, or is it the fact that a lot of the deep state establishment have got properties in New Zealand and have got hidey holes in New Zealand where they can escape to once they are uncovered? If I had the money, yes, I would definitely have a little hobbit hole in New Zealand. Be lovely. Lovely. Yeah. It's, you see, I understand why the information was breadcrumbed and trickled and drip fed to the public, because a lot of it's bloody awful. A lot of it's really, really nasty stuff, nasty, horrible information that you don't want to know. You don't want to know that people do this. You don't want to know these sick people do this sick things. You don't want to know that, but you find it out. And I can see why he's had to drip feed it to the people. But once you start to go down the rabbit hole and get your torch out and start searching around everywhere, going, oh, look at that, oh, look at that, oh, look at that. These people have got to hang. When you start thinking of it like that, it's like, the one of the Five Eyes, yeah. Antarctica. Oh, that is a little rabbit hole, that. But that's going to be for a whole new episode. That's going to be a whole new show. We're going to go into aliens. But we'll have some extra special guests on that show. We'll have some more people. We'll have some more ideas, more thoughts, and more well-researched people, because, yes, I've done my own research. I've looked into the UFO phenomenon. You know, things like the Battle of Area 51, the Battle of, was it San Francisco? It was somewhere on the coast of California. You know, things like this, things like that. The Nazis in the Arctic, Nazis in the Antarctic. You know, crazy things like that. But without the special guests, I don't think it'll be half as fun. So, yeah, New Zealand is sort of, you know, New Zealand, Chile, Argentina, to some extent, are the gateways to the Arctic. Or the Antarctic. Get it right. Gateways to the Antarctic, which is a frigging huge secret. It is a big secret. They are covering up something down there, most definitely. There's something not quite right happening down in Antarctica. I don't know what exactly. I have theory. But who knows? Apart from the CIA and the intelligence services and the people who have signed a little piece of paper that says, if you tell anybody about what we tell you, we kill you. Yeah. Official Secrets Act. Yeah, so Not so sure. Not so sure about the Antarctic. I know there's something going on down there. I know that there's oil fields down there, but is that just a ruse? Is that just a we're going down to Antarctica to get the oil when we're really going down to Antarctica for other nefarious reasons? Well, thanks for the comments, Lauren. L-A-U-R-E. Lauren. Yeah, Lauren. Yeah. So I think we're about to wrap it up for this episode. It's not been my best performance so far, but got to take the ups and the downs and the rust with the smooths. So yeah. One man show, one man rant. Thank you for your comments. You helped us out with the bit of a direction here. Bit of a loss with some of it because I've not been keeping up to date with the queue for the past week or so. And it's just since it got tainted, since the queue posts got tainted, I sort of took a step back from it and thought, we'll see how this pans out. We'll see how it plays out. We'll see what we'll see Q root out its own infiltrators, and then we'll get back on board, and then we'll look into Q again. But I'm seeing it starting to that's starting to happen now. You can see the Q community starting to weed out some of the posters. So, yep. I think that'll do for this evening's show. Thank you for everybody for watching. Thank you anybody who's watching live. Thank you everybody for watching. If you're watching it as a repeat or a recast, yeah. Going to come back with a different sort of show tomorrow. Big plans, new things. Let's do something different. Let's have some fun. And yeah, keep posting, keep thinking, keep your eyes open, and keep doubting the mainstream. Keep doubting the narrative. Keep asking questions, and ask the most important question of all: why? Thank you all for watching. Take care. Very well.